first order of business. Just win, baby. The Silver and Black welcoming Raider Nation to Allegiant Stadium for the first time.
Runs it and scores it.
To make the final 53.
Let's go!
Players gotta make plays.
Sack in the back, Nate Hobbs.
From our own state-of-the-art stadium to the Rams' new digs. It's wheels up to a familiar place. The City of Angels. So let's make ourselves home in LA.
Let's get it, home team.
We already have before.
Well, last week it was a Raider Nation celebration in Las Vegas, and tonight at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, a return to Los Angeles, home of the franchise for 12 seasons and the Super Bowl championship team. Hi, everybody, and welcome to LA. I'm Beth Mowins, along with a couple of Raider legends, and Rich Gannon and Matt Millen. As we get set now for the second preseason game, the Raiders looked awfully good, guys, last week in the opener against the Seattle Seahawks, picking up a win behind an offense, Rich, that controlled the ball for over 40 minutes and a defense that held the Seahawks to under 200 total yards.
Yeah, I thought that was a really impressive start for the Raiders, really on both sides of the ball. And I think that's good to see. I mean, they got off the bus with the right attitude. They had great energy early. They played fast. They were physical. They played smart football. Not a lot of mistakes, not a lot of missed assignments and mental errors, not a lot of penalties. I thought the execution was very good. And that's saying something when you're rolling so many different players through on offense, defense, and the kicking game. No sense of panic. I just thought it was a really strong performance where they really took it to the Seattle Seahawks early and often, Matt.
Yeah, and I think when that happens, Rich, especially with young players, the one thing that builds a team is confidence. And when you start playing without mistakes, you start playing fast, and you start playing with confidence, you get better and better. And so what they did was they took the confidence from a week ago and they brought it down here to Los Angeles for the practices. And you know what the results were? They were excellent. They performed extremely well physically, made few mental mistakes. They got after it, a little spirited a couple times. I really like what this team is doing, and I like the direction they're headed. A lot of young players, but they're playing with confidence right now.
And keep in mind, the veteran players aren't going to play a lot of snaps in the preseason. These joint practices with the Rams were a real opportunity for the veterans to get themselves mentally and physically ready for week one against the Ravens.
And it was certainly great to have Darren Waller back in practice, scored touchdowns in both of those scrimmages. Let's turn our attention now to tonight, and a lot of guys going to get another opportunity, and we'll start on the offensive side. More of Nathan Peterman at quarterback and a lot more Trey Regis at tailback.
And Beth, I appreciate players who are prepared and ready for the opportunity. And clearly Nathan Peterman was ready for the opportunity last week. He threw the ball well. He got it up and down quick. I think he recognized pressures. He did a good job changing protections at the line of scrimmage. He just looked very comfortable and poised. And of course, speaking of a guy that looked comfortable and poised, how about Trey Regis? He took advantage of every opportunity, every carry. He was physical. He finished runs. He put his foot in the ground. He headed downhill. And the other thing he did a nice job of, guys, he was solid in pass protection.
Yeah, you like to see that from rookies. You know, you like to see rookies who have a sense and feel for the game. And the guy who I really liked last week was Nate Hobbs. Watch him in Illinois, did the exact same thing. He has those things you can't coach, and that's just the poise under pressure. And he has great instincts. Another guy who's got some pretty good instincts is Javin White, the linebacker. Kid can run. Not a real big guy, but boy, he led the team in tackles last week with 6. You're going to have a nice game here tonight and show that speed a little more often.
All right, looks like a silver and black takeover here in LA. Matt Millen loved his time in Los Angeles. Can the Raiders enjoy a little bit more in front of the nation? Coming up next. Welcome back to the Raiders Television Network, the second preseason game of 3 with the Raiders and the Rams getting set to go in Los Angeles. Raiders have won the toss, and they will receive, and, you know, that puts a smile on John Gruden's face to get that offense out there. And how about those two youngsters? Back in their days together when John Gruden hired Sean McVay and got him his first job in the league.
Yeah, it looks like they still have pimples. Jeez.
Flash forward to today, and McVay now, of course, course, the head coach for the Rams, Gruden, in year number 4 for the Raiders. DJ Turner is back deep. And Matt Gay will not only handle the kicking duties, but the punting duties as well. Out of Utah for Matt Gay. Both the punters on the COVID-19 list, including Johnny Hecker. So we may see them going for it quite a bit on 4th down. Otherwise, Matt Gay will handle the punting duties. And for the second week in a row for the Raiders, Rich, it is Nathan Peterman.
What a great story, Beth. Here's a quarterback that came out of the University of Pittsburgh back in 2017. He was a 5th-round pick, picked 171. He goes to Buffalo, and they start him in the first game of the season. And then he plays against a really good Chargers defense. He throws 5 picks. He was never the same. And it took him a little while. Now he's been in John Gruden's system for a couple of years. He's got a lot of reps under him. And he really seems like he's understanding the system, and the game is really starting to slow down for him. And that's really where you can see the growth and the development from Peterman.
Trey Regis is the offset back, and he'll make the catch for the short gain. Traven Howard wrapped him up. Guy to watch on that front line will be number 70, your right tackle, Alex Leatherwood, the 1st-round pick out of Alabama.
And also Nick Martin, the center. There's Leatherwood, the rookie. And Nick Martin's back on the inside. Andre James, their usual starter, is not there today, so Martin's going to get a lot of reps tonight.
Motion man is Keelan Doss. And the throw out across the 30, and a couple of quick short completions. This one to Zay Jones, and a gain of 5. Be 3rd and 4.
We mentioned Leatherwood. I just think this guy has a bright future in the league. He's got to learn how to finish a little bit in pass protection, use his hands a little bit more consistently. The one thing he can do, though, he can get up on the 2nd level. He's got good movement, good quickness. He can cut off the backside when the runs are away from him. He's a guy that just needs to play. He needs the reps, and that's why we're seeing him early against a pretty good Rams pass rush.
Willie Snead in at one of the wideouts, a guy fighting for a spot with the wide receiver group, and the 3rd down pass is broken up by Juju Hughes, and it's 4th down. He was looking for the tight end, Derek Carrier.
Just a little bit behind him. Hughes was able to undercut it and come back on this. The ball, Peterman knows where he wants to go with the ball, just has to put it out a little bit in front of him, and you had a 1st down, but Hughes did a nice job of undercutting that ball right there. A little bit underthrown.
Yeah, the one thing you can't do is you can't miss behind on those outbreaking routes. That's the pick 6 call, and Peterman knows better. That ball's got to be, he's got to be able to use the boundary.
Corliss Waitman is on to punt for the Raiders here from inside his own 20. Tutu Atwell, Landon Akers, a couple of deep men here for the Rams. Atwell chased back inside the 15-yard line and a good boot. Atwell will come to the near side, bumped out of bounds, and a flag is down on the play. It's a 55-yard boot, a return of 11 yards.
You know, special teams is such a huge part of getting and building a roster and getting your team together. One of the guys that I was just watching right there was Nate Hobbs, who's really making a good push to make this roster and really to play as a starter in that nickel spot. He's really played well.
Yeah, he can play inside in the nickel. He can play outside. He's got the length that you like, Matt, at the cornerback position. I think he's a good tackler. I think he can be a good blitzer. And as you mentioned, special teams for a lot of these rookies, especially on the defensive side of the ball, that's their ticket to make the roster week 1.
I think one of the things that we mentioned it early that sets Nate Hobbs apart, and he's in there right now in that nickel set, is he's got great instincts. And it's interesting, when you watch him, kids in high school, they have it. They go to the next level, to college, and they have it. They're going to show it at this level because that's what they are. And he's been that kind of player. You see him right there, number 39, Nate Hobbs. He's an interesting guy to watch. He knows how to make. He's always around the football. He knows how to make plays.
The safety's in there right now. Jonathan Abram and Traven Merrig. Merrig, the 2nd-round pick out of TCU. Bryce Perkins will get the start at quarterback, and Jake Funk slips. They are pushed back inside the red zone due to a holding call on the Rams on the punt. And there's a look at Perkins' numbers at the University of Virginia, his last stop. Of course, the Rams making the big offseason trade, sending Jared Goff to Detroit. Matthew Stafford now in line to be the starter this year for the Rams.
Matthew Stafford is a stud. This offense, I expect him to shine really brightly.
Funk again tries to run it up the middle, and will get to about the 14-yard line.
Beth, you mentioned the quarterback situation. Really a quarterback carousel this offseason. At least 11 teams will have a new starting quarterback in 2021. Lions, Rams, Washington, Eagles, Colts, Bears, Panthers, Jets, Jaguars, Texans. Most likely the Saints and Broncos. So there's a lot of turnover at that position. And the good thing for the Raiders is they've got some stability, some production, and some consistency. You know what you're going to get from Derek Carr. John Gruden and Derek Carr enter their 4th season together, and I expect big things from Carr in 2021.
And we don't think we'll see Marcus Mariota tonight. Could see him against the 49ers next week. The third down throw out across the 20 to J.J. Koski, and an 8-yard pickup.
Got a little bit of pressure inside to force him to the outside. He knows he wants to go right away. The ball should have been out of his hand right there. He eventually gets there, but this holding call is going to bring it back, and they're going to replay third down.
I think they were trying to hold off Solomon Thomas. It was Bobby Evans who got called for the hold.
Correction, half the distance.
Matt, there certainly looks on paper, and from what you've seen in practice, a lot more depth, especially in the interior of this defensive line with all the offseason pickups.
Yeah, for the Raiders, there's 2 areas that they have a lot of depth. It's their secondary and their defensive line, especially on the inside. What they really need, which they haven't had, is a pass rush that's sustainable and consistent.
Throw out to the edge.
There he is, right there.
The hit immediately. Nate Hobbs takes him down.
Nate Hobbs, I'm telling you, Raider fans, you're going to love this kid. This is an instinctual play, right? You got to read this thing fast, and you just have a hunch. And he saw it, he read it, beat the block really fast, makes a nice play, and sets up 4th down. Well done, Nate Hobbs.
Does a nice job diagnosing it. You mentioned, Matt, very good tackler, strong hands, good closing speed. And the length that you like at that position. He's got long arms and good speed. Al Davis would have loved Hobbs.
Loss of 4 on the play, and the punt will be off the leg of Matt Gay, their kicker, who hasn't punted in an NFL game in his 2 seasons. Out of his own end zone, DJ Turner coming up to receive it around the 37 and down to the 32-yard line. That'll set up the Raiders nicely. A 35-yard punt, 6 on the return, and the offense with a short field courtesy of Nate Hobbs when we come back. Both teams 3 and out on their opening drives. Raiders now working with the short field as we check out the draft class of 2021, led by Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama, Trayvon Merrick out of TCU. Both of those guys penciled in right now as starters, and we've already seen what Nate Hobbs, the 5th-year man out of Illinois, is capable of.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of these guys here. That one, this one. I think Kuntz is going to be a guy also. In time, you're going to get used to seeing his number around also.
1st and 10 after the short punt. And B.J. Emmons is on it, tailback. Got a good block that time following Leatherwood off that right side for 7.
Yeah, went off the right side. What you see, watch how he finishes. Look at that, just ran right over, picked up another 3 yards. Running behind Leatherwood does a nice job. You can see number 70 get on, that's on the double. Needs to get to the 2nd level then, but well done.
Emmons will pick up the 1st down for every Raiders 1st down. At Allegiant Stadium this year, American First Credit Union will be donating $100 to the Raider Foundation. And they really like Alex in the run game. Still a work in progress in terms of pass protection, as it is for a lot of younger guys.
It's the difference between college and the NFL is the players that are rushing the passer. There's a reason why these guys are making $8, $9, and $10 million, and Alex Leatherwood is quickly figuring that out.
Peterman stepping up, and he'll take it down inside the 15.
Rich, I got to tell you something about Peterman. He reminds me of somebody. He reminds me of somebody who's sitting right next to me.
Doesn't slide?
Yeah, no. Yeah, this guy Peterman reminds me a lot of you.
You know, Matt, he's averaged over 40 yards a game rush in the games that he's appeared as a Raider. I mean, with the preseason games, the kid's got some mobility. He's got some toughness. And I just think he's a quarterback that's really benefited from sitting in that classroom with Coach Gruden and obviously Derek Carr. And I just think he's really starting to see the game and see the field better.
Well done on the inside. Nick Martin did a nice job inside. You'd like to see that from your backup guys in there.
Emmons following his fullback as well. Garrett Groshek, the rookie out of Wisconsin.
Yeah, there's another one, Garrett Groshek. That's just a football player, but Emmons is a big man. Big from the waist down, but he runs with his eyes, right? Groshek doing a nice job on the inside. You see the offensive line. Leatherwood did a nice job. Martin does a nice job. That's just good football. If there's one thing that a Gruden offense really benefits from, it's a running game.
Peterman will run it with Emmons down inside the 5. BJ did score a touchdown, as did Trey Regis on the ground in the win over Seattle last Saturday.
One of the guys that they really want to see if they're going to have any kind of depth is Nick Martin, number 66. He's the center right now. And he's so on this drive right here, he's kind of asserting himself. The centers, the one thing all centers are, they're smart, and they have to be good communicators because they run that offensive line. He's got that also.
It's Lester Cotton to his left on the interior line. And play action at Derek Carrier, cut down around the 3-yard line. That was Juju Hughes with the nice play.
Beth, you mentioned Lester Cotton. He was one of the players that Coach Gruden signaled out in our meeting, a player that has really gotten their attention. And he's played himself into a contention for a spot on the roster, along with Dylan Stone. Players that have made progress and practice in the preseason. And Lester Cotton, certainly one of those players.
Yeah, watched him at Alabama. That's a big man. That's 330 pounds.
3rd and goal. Peterman will keep down towards the goal line and in. Touchdown Raiders.
That's just power football. That's just all power on that inside and left side, right behind Cotton we were talking about. And watch Cotton come off the ball. Martin comes off the ball. Groshek, Regis rather, looking for somebody to block. Kind of ran right past him. But Peterman does a nice job, and it does his nicest Rich Gannon move right there. Gets the ball over the goal line. Rich, the reason he reminds me of you so much is the way he started out and where he is right now. And that was the way your career was. And, I mean, he turned to the NFL MVP. But this guy right here, I think there's a lot of good football ahead of him.
I think he's got a bright future. I'm excited to see what he can do tonight. He's getting a great opportunity to play all 4 quarters.
There's somebody out there who doesn't have a good number 2. It wouldn't surprise me if they try to make a trade for this kid.
Hey, Credit One will be donating $2,000.
Previous plays being reviewed. Rolling on the field was touchdown.
To local charities for every PAT the Raiders make this season. Proceeds will benefit Las Vegas After School All-Stars and the Boys and Girls Club. Daniel Carlson personally selected one of the charities. And the play under review, so we'll take a break. Be right back. Well, the scorebook tells the story. It is 4th and goal. The call has been reversed. The knee was down.
His knee goes down right there before he can extend. Good call by the officials.
Even better angle
right there.
See the knees down.
All right, so they're going for it. 4th and goal. 3 tight ends. Groshek in front of Regis in the eye. They'll run it with Trey leaping into the end zone. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
Well done by Regis. Regis for Vegas. So the guy goes low, he goes high. This is just what I was talking about. Run with your eyes, right? Right here. See, he sees the guy coming down low. He's going to try to cut him. Just goes over the top. That's really well done by Regis.
He does a nice job eliminating the penetration. Finds a little gap there to the left and has a nose for the end zone. And what I like about him, he's got a low center of gravity. He's a physical downhill runner.
Extra point is good from Daniel Carlson. Credit One will be donating $2,000 to local charities for every PAT the Raiders make this season. Proceeds will benefit Las Vegas After School All-Stars and the Boys and Girls Club. 8 plays, 32 yards, 3 minutes and 44 seconds, and a 4th down conversion for the elusive Trey Regis.
Yeah, so no surprise that they went to their left side. You know, back in the day, Upshaw and Shell, that's all they did was run past that left side.
Left side, strong side.
Yeah, big cotton in there. They just got behind that big old rear end and ran behind him. The extra defender had to make that play, and he decided to go low. Really good job by Regis. Like I said, we're running with your eyes. You see that quick, make your decision, you're over the top, and you're in.
He's got good instincts. He makes a lot of good, quick decisions. He's decisive with the football in his hands.
Yep.
Not a lot of wasted movement with Regis.
Corliss Waitman will not only handle the punting duties, but apparently the kickoff as well. And for Trey Regis, 2 preseason games, 2 rushing touchdowns. With the foot injury to Jalen Richard, he's got a shot at making this roster early in the season. Well, built for Raider Nation, the Raiders official mobile keeps you up to date on Raiders news, exclusive content, and all things silver and black. Download now in the App Store.
Marcus Allen had that ability around the goal line. If it was close, he was getting a touchdown. Old Rooster Banaszak had that too, back in the day, back in the 60s.
Banaszak and Van Egan and Marcus Allen, and to present day, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for Josh Jacobs. They are really excited about the addition of Kenyon Drake, I think especially in the passing game out of the backfield, another weapon.
He can do a lot, and he's an exciting young player that I think can really help him in 3rd down. He can help him in the red zone. He can do a nice job, I think, spelling Josh Jacobs, and he can tote the ball as well.
Yeah, you just saw a nice open field tackle there by Keyshawn Nixon. That's one of those guys, just a 3rd-year player. Another young guy. They're young back there in secondary. But open field tackles, that's a really nice job. That's not easy to do.
Quentin Jefferson coming on here in the interior of that D-line. The free agent pickup from Buffalo. Cleve Furl is in there as well. Funk breaking tackles, and he's got a 1st down out to the 40.
You saw it right there. Quentin Jefferson had a chance. There's Kenyon Drake right there. I think he's a special guy. I like him with the ball in his hands.
He did some good things with the Dolphins, of course, last year and a half with the Arizona Cardinals, and he's an explosive player with the ball in his hands. And I just think John Gruden said to us, just wasn't sure how he was utilized. And he'll have a package of plays for Drake. He'll be a good resource for a guy like Derek Carr.
Tanner Muse is out there now with the linebacking core, along with Javen White. And the tackle is made by Asmer Bilal, who gets the start at middle linebacker tonight.
There's a kid who I thought, Phylon number 96, I thought last week, he showed some nice flashes. He gets off the ball quick. He didn't have a good takeoff in this last one, but he's got a nice low center of gravity. He's one of those guys who gets into it and works his hands well. I think he's pretty good.
I think Darius just
got the
foul there and moves the Rams back.
It was a nice way how he got rid of his helmet.
Help the officials. Guys, we've been talking a lot about this defensive line, and Gus Bradley talked to us a lot about, hey, the Raiders are trying to create 2 waves with their defensive line. They want a 1st and 2nd group that they can run through there, and I think you always want to have fresh bodies on the field, and we talked about the lack of depth and talent that the Raiders had along the interior of that defensive line. Clearly, Mike Mayock and John Gruden went out and addressed that. They've got a lot of bodies that they feel that they can roll through.
Carl Nassib now at left edge. Funk trying to find a hole and ran into a lot of white jerseys. Furl and Nassib from both sides got in there.
And they don't get there unless those two inside guys stack things up. You can see what they do. He's taking on a double on one side, and then they were able to come in on the backside. Nate Hobbs got in on that thing too. You know, this Ram team is predominantly a zone, inside-outside zone team. When that happens, they try to get you to go sideways. So the way to beat that is to attack you, get penetration up the field.
Rams are really going to spread it out here. Four-man rush. Almost intercepted. Broken up by Javen White.
That's the speed we were talking about, Rich. And he has really good speed. Not a real big guy, excellent cover guy. You saw that when they try to work on him on the underneath stuff. You can see he's going to undercut this, and you can only do that if you have speed. It's something I rarely experience.
He's right in position, man.
Oh, yeah.
All he's got to do is get that right hand up there and make that catch. But a nice job as you see him covering the slot. I think it shows his versatility. I mean, he can be a three-down linebacker. He can play on the early downs. He can stay out there on the sub.
Another guy that John Gruden singled out, said, hey, this is a big night for him. Fighting for one of those linebacker spots. Is a good special teamer as well. Perkins out of the pocket, out across the 40, and a good scamper. Bilal chased him out.
Set up a fourth down. They were setting, they were going to play a zone, and Bilal saw it as he saw the quarterback take off as he was dropping. Picked up some yards, but was able to stop him from the first. Turn the ball back over. One thing these linebackers are all going to be able to do is they'll all run really well. And that's the basis. There's two main keys of the Raider defense. You're going to have to be strong on the inside for your defensive tackles because these guys aren't very big. And so they're going to have to take the pounding, and the backers have to be able to run.
Dylan Stoner back at his own 20. End over end to Dylan. And he'll give it a go, trying to get the edge. And Stoner out around the 30-yard line. 10 yards on the return after the 44-yard punt. Raiders up on the Rams, 7-0 here in the first.
We were the best team. We deserve to be world champions. I'm proud of you.
That was former Raiders head coach Tom Flores addressing the team after the Super Bowl victory over the Philadelphia Eagles at the Louisiana Superdome. And congratulations to Coach Flores into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this summer. One of just two to win as a player and assistant as a head coach, a part of 4 Super Bowl champions, 3 of those with the Raiders. And broke barriers as an Hispanic quarterback, the first in National Football League history. There's a completion, Peterman to Nick Bowers. First down yardage.
Yeah, Beth, one thing right now that I've seen, this offensive line is really doing a nice job. You can see this excellent protection. There's a pocket for him to be able to step up in. He's taking his time. He's seeing the field. Peterman's enjoying the protection that he's getting from this offensive line. They're doing a nice job.
There's Brandon Parker getting some time at left tackle. Nice snag at the 45 as flags fly. And the catch is made by Marcel Aitman for a gain of 16.
I think it's going to be defensive holding or pass interference. I think he was getting grabbed.
Pass interference. Defense number 35. First down.
That was a heck of a catch. That ball had some juice on it, and it was out in front of Aitman. He just went and snatched it out of the air.
Yeah, well done. Nice job by Peterman stepping up in the pocket. Good anticipation on this in cut. And you're right, man. He just did a great job plucking it out of the air.
Exactly. Well done.
4th penalty on the Rams here in the first quarter. They're hurting themselves. Garrett Groshek with the carry. 47 games in his 4 years in the Big Ten. Over 1,000 yards rushing.
Oh, that Wisconsin. And of course, Ingold was there previous to him. Groshek's one of those guys, just a good football player. Just whatever you need to have done, he's one of those guys who can do it. Whether it's short yardage or blocking or protection or catching the ball out of the backfield, he's just a good football player.
Peterman has now completed 5 passes to 5 different guys here in the first. 2nd and 5, 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Another good push up front. Groshek close to that first down marker.
Martin on the inside. Cotton also.
Another flag down.
Must have just fallen out of his pocket or something. I can't say anything.
Picking it up. Regis behind Groshek. They need 2 for the first down.
Tied at the line of scrimmage, see what he says.
Ellison Bowers in at tight end. They'll run Regis, and he's hammered in the backfield. And a loss back outside the 40. It's 4th down.
Yeah, so they went with a stunt up front. You see they brought on the right side. You're going to see they're going to come. See how that was slanted? And Martin couldn't quite get there, and he stuffed the fullback in the backfield, and there was nowhere to go. That was because they slanted to that side. He saw it at the line of scrimmage, couldn't get out of it.
Loss of 3, and the Raiders will go for it. 4th and 5. Hard count.
No snap.
Peterman.
No snap. No play. Trying to draw him offside was the hard count.
Play game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Rich, on 3rd down, Peterman saw him. He saw that it looked like they were coming. He tried to run away from it, but they slanted to it.
And the problem with that check, Matt, as you said, that they were loaded up on the strong side. When they load up on the strong side, as you know, they're gonna rotate that. They're gonna roll that line to the weak side. So that was not the best check from Peterman. He went from a strong side run to a weak side run. Probably would better served dropping back and taking a shot down the field against the pressure.
Still 4th down.
John Gruden usually has a package of plays that he likes based on the front, the coverage, the pressure. And sometimes, you know, a younger player maybe doesn't have that experience to get to the 3rd or 4th check.
Yeah, I used to like to play against those guys.
Waitman on to punt it away. We'll try and pooch one. Bury him deep. Bounce into the end zone. 7-0 Raiders over the Rams. 22 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Back to LA in a moment. 7-0 Raiders over the Rams. Well, each week throughout the regular season, the Las Vegas Raiders, in partnership with Intermountain Healthcare, will proudly recognize local youth football players who have made an impact on their community. Stay tuned for September 13th, where we will recognize our first Intermountain Healthcare Player of the Week. And, of course, the opening week of the NFL season. Primetime Monday Night Football for the Raiders and the Ravens to open things up at Allegiant Stadium.
Rich, you talked about having 2 good, solid blinds to roll in and out. And part of that rotation is going to be Solomon Thomas, number 92. Came over from San Francisco. This kid, I really love his get-off. His first 2 steps are killer. He's one of those guys who's got good instincts as well, but he makes things happen. He's a kind of a 3 technique. When he gets on a roll, he's pretty good.
Out into the flat, Hobbs makes a tackle, and there is another flag down. A toss to J.J. Koski.
It seems like Hobbs is always around the football.
Rich, it's the weirdest thing. You watch
Legal
kids.
shift. Offense. 2 men were moving at the same time. Did not reset. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Rams, by the way, now have more penalty yards than total yards.
Yeah, Nate Hobbs. I didn't see him in high school, but I would venture to guess he was the exact same way because I watched him in Illinois, and he played like that all the time. Always around the ball, always around a fumble. Interceptions seem to find him. He's always around a sack. I mean, he's just one of those guys. He's just has great instincts, the stuff you can't teach.
That's the end of the first quarter.
30 22 penalty yards, 28 total yards of offense for the Rams. The Raiders taking advantage. 7-0. Trey Regis with the touchdown. You're watching Raiders football, presented by Credit One.
TCU, this kid here, the game doesn't get too big for him. He's one of those guys who knows he belongs. He's one of those guys who's fitting in. You want him to be able to be more communicative. He needs to be a guy who kind of takes over. He's not there yet, but he's well on his way. It's a good football player.
Looking for him to show a little more of his infectious personality as he gets more comfortable and confident back there. Catch is made by Funk, and that was Merrig on the coverage.
And really his responsibility in this defense, they play a lot of 3D coverage, and he'll be in the middle of the field. He'll be a center field post player, and biggest responsibility is to ensure that there are no explosive plays, really keep things in front of him. And it's been a problem in years past with the Raiders, giving up a lot of explosives in the passing game. Through the first 2 preseason games, they've done a nice job keeping the lid on the big runs and big passes.
2nd and 7 for Bryce Perkins. He'll run it to the left side and out to the 25-yard line, and it's Roderick Teamer, third-year man out of Tulane. Going to get a lot of time tonight.
Nothing breaks a defense down more, Matt, than a big play. And you always talk about you got to make them earn it, right? Make them go 15 plays and 80 yards, but don't give them a 30, 40-yard bomb.
No
and
question.
That's what is a big problem in the past. Get up the explosives.
Yeah. Look, if you have a defense who's high on the list of giving up big plays, you're going to have a losing team.
3rd and 4 out of the gun. Has time, drops it off underneath, and it's caught right near the marker, J.J. Koski.
A nice job by Perkins. He's looking down the field, goes back to his check down, knows where it's at, but I mean, it was right there. Koski was right. Is it got to be 4th?
Yeah,
it's 4th and
4th and inches.
Yeah.
Well, with the punting situation, they're going to go for it. Without their first 2 punters tonight.
Let's see who wins here. Low man wins. It's all about leverage right here.
Quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
He'll keep it, and he'll dive out across the 30 for the first down.
That's smart. You can go right where no one is. You don't really know if the guy's going to slant or not, but he'll take that hole every time. Solomon Thomas was up the field, and he just went to the gap.
Raider defense last year, 30th in scoring D, and near the bottom of the league in most of the statistical categories. They'll try one over the top,
really
and it's
nice.
Broken up.
Well
Good
done
recovery by Javen White.
Javen White did a phenomenal job. Not a good job, a great job. He saw the over coming, and he read it the whole way. Now watch, he's going to turn and run. Watch, turn, locate right there. Really well done. Now go get it. Get your hand up. You look. When he looks, your hands are up. That couldn't be played any better. Javen White, that's a star play right there.
2nd-year man out of UNLV, undrafted out of college. Perkins will keep. Slam by Teamer.
Not a lot of experience when you look at the Rams' backup quarterback situation. Yeah. Wolford's not going to play tonight. Was a college free agent back in 2018. Spent some time with the Jets and on a practice squad. Then you look at the situation they've got with Perkins, another practice squad player, college free agent out of the University of Virginia last season. They could be one of those teams we talked about, guys, in our production meeting that could be looking for some depth at the quarterback position behind Matthew Stafford.
Duck Hodges is their other option tonight. Here's 3rd and 6. Raiders coming. Perkins gets away. Slipped out of the grasp of Hobbs, who had a shot at added his second sack in as many games.
That's Gus Bradley. That's right there. That's just a good call from the sideline. They had them down. They had the protection down. Hobbs comes through, can't quite hold on. Now Perkins has the guy for a first, but he chooses not to throw it. And then at the end, he does. He was lucky at the end. He didn't get anything to the hand up into the face of the quarterback.
There's Hobbs again, Matt, causing some.
There's a shock, huh?
Causing some problems in the backfield. He's going to be a really good slot blitzer for Gus Bradley.
The Raider fans are going to like this kid. This kid's a really good player. You're going to learn to like the number 39 unless they change it.
He's set up to start the first couple of weeks with Nevin Lawson suspended. DJ Turner. Nice cutback. Turner out across the 35 and hauled down at the 39. A return of 18 yards to set up the Raiders early in this second quarter at a 7-0 lead.
Theismann tries to roll out, has no place to roll. Now he's chased by Millen, and Millen takes him down. Not bad for a 270-pound guy.
Look at Matt Millen out there. He is fired up. Yeah, we were talking about the players relaxed. Well, this guy was ready to play the game on Wednesday.
Is that a fact, Mac Millen? Was it Wednesday you were ready to go for Super Bowl 18 at Tampa Stadium?
If John Madden said it, it had to be true. Yeah, those were Pat Summerall and John Madden. That is the best it's ever been.
270 back in the day. Were you 370 with those shoulder pads?
Deflection.
Well, deflection and a pick. And a turnover for the Rams. J.R. Reed got it. Tipped by Chris Garrett.
Well, nothing good ever happens when you get a deflection to line of scrimmage. You get those defensive linemen, the pass rush, they get their arms up in the throwing lanes, and that ball goes up in the air. It's just a sickening feeling for the quarterback. Not a lot you can do about that one.
Second pick of the preseason for Peterman.
You got a sudden change, and this is what the Raiders did a nice job of last week. When something like this happens, you got to go out there and get a stop. Hold them to a field goal.
From the Las Vegas 40. Perkins with Xavier Jones behind him. Play action. With time. Fires, and it's caught by Koski. Down close to the 20-yard line.
The whole key to that thing right there was they didn't get any pressure. Because he had no pressure, he was able to look the whole field over. Koski sat down in a nice big hole. But you can see there's nothing here. He's going to have a lot of time to take his time and make the throw.
Gain of 19, the longest play of the night for the Rams. And a first down. 5 for 8 for Bryce. He's also run it 3 times for 17 yards. First and 10 from the 21. Jones tries to get the right edge. He'll get down inside the 20. Picks up a couple. There's Javen White near the bottom of that pile.
White did a nice job of just getting off that block and sliding into position. And then 33, a teamer. He also was right there as well. White can really run. He sees the ball well. Doesn't hesitate. Usually young players, they kind of hesitate a little bit before they take off and make their move. He doesn't. He sees it and goes. Believes his eyes.
4-man rush. Jones out of the backfield. He's got the first down. Gets inside the 10. Pushed out by White. First and goal.
Just a flare. He's swinging it up the left sideline, right sideline there. Took away the inside the field. And he forced him to the outside, and you have to make that play. You're giving that to him.
Pick up a 10.
Time for a big play here. The Raiders have to be able to get some kind of a pass rush. Force him to make a mistake.
Perkins looking right now back to the middle of the field. Wide open in the end zone. Touchdown. Kendall Blanton.
He was too open. You can see what the coverage was right there. Looks like they're playing a zone down there, Rich.
Yeah, he just drops it right behind the linebackers and these little crossing route back. Good protection. You mentioned give those quarterbacks an extra second or two, and they're going to find the open receiver every time.
Blanton kid's a tall kid, like 6'6", 6'7".
4 plays, 40 yards in just over 2 minutes. The Rams tie it up on the touchdown. Perkins to Blanton. All even in Los Angeles. Well, the NFL is unveiling the top 100 players for the 2021 season. Already out, Josh Jacobs at number 68 in the top 100, the All-Pro running back for the Raiders. We expect we'll see Darren Waller at some point tomorrow when they reveal the top 40 all the way down to number 11. Waller was ranked 99 last year, but guys, that monster season where he broke the Raiders receiving record set by Tim Brown has certainly vaulted him up through the ranks. There's Josh.
He's unstoppable. I mean, you look at Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, two explosive players for John Gruden. Waller last year, 107 catches for almost 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns.
We'd really like to see on that top 100 list, there's a couple Raiders defensive players on that side, particularly in the pass rushing side. They need to get that thing going. That last touchdown was a result of no pass rush.
Good opportunity for Nathan Peterman to quickly turn the page. The great quarterbacks, regardless of whether it's a touchdown or interception, they don't spend a lot of time looking in the rearview mirror, Beth. They look at right what's in front of them. They're able to focus on the very next play. It just comes with experience.
Rams able to cash in that pick moments ago, so back to work for Nathan, who's 5 for 7 for 34 yards here in the first half. He'll pitch, and Regis, another good push right up the belly of the beast for the Rams. Chris Garrett.
You got Keelan Doss trying to make a block at the point right there. You got to get that done. That's a safety coming down.
That's a bad effort there.
That's in our world, that would be called pathetic.
Yeah, you got a receiver trying to block a linebacker, and he gets walked into the backfield. Penetration just ruins that play.
Loss of 6. Peterman with time rifles it across the middle to DJ Turner, who slides for 16.
Looks like a first.
Yeah, they're going to move those sticks.
That's a big play right there. And this is what you talked about, Rick, with Peterman. Got to forget what the heck is going on. Just turn around to the next thing and make it happen.
Yeah, he's shown some poise, Matt, especially playing with a lot of young players. You've got different centers in the game. You've got different offensive linemen. The communication's been really good through the first 6 quarters of football.
That was the longest play of the night so far for the Raiders at 16 yards. Peterman swarmed and taken down.
That's on Lester Cotton. Yeah, you can't do it. He reached. He reached in his protection, and when he reached, the guy beat him to the inside. You know, watch him right here. See how he reached to the outside? Guy swung to back to the inside, and then he's got to move your feet. You got to stay. Let the defender make the move on you, and you work to him. Cotton's a big, powerful guy, and sometimes when he gets in trouble, sometimes he gets a little overextended.
A sack for Jonah Williams, a loss of 5, 2nd and 15. Raiders will go with 4 wide. Regis out of the backfield and incomplete. Another tip.
Yeah, second one.
And Matt, I used to remind the linemen in the huddle, if I had a crossing route, like an angle route, a crossing route, or a quick out route, I'd tell the offensive linemen, get their hands down. And you see right there.
On top of Cotton.
Yep, you get Chris Garrett, linebacker for the Rams. He jumps up and gets a deflection. Continually remind them, be aggressive with your hands and make sure that these guys in the blue jerseys don't stick them up in the throwing lane.
Chris Garrett's been making some noise tonight for the Rams. Neither side with a 3rd down conversion yet. Peterman hit, ball is out. Still bouncing around. And it looks like the Raiders were able to get on it with Lester Cotton, and I'm pretty sure that was Mr. Garrett again.
The left tackle gets beat right around the edge.
We're going to see this. Yeah, that was... no. What am I saying? Umame. Patrick Umame is the one who got beat 77 off the left side.
He's late getting out. He's got a chip from the tight end, but he's late getting out, redirecting.
Waitman on a punt.
That was not a good series for the Raider offense.
Fair catch, Atwell around his own 25, and that's where the Rams will get it, even at 7.
Talked about the execution last week, how clean it was. Not a lot of penalties, not a lot of missed assignments, mental errors. We've seen some mistakes, some technical mistakes from this offensive line. Late with their hands, late making the adjustment, late getting outside, kicking it back outside. Some communication breakdowns, and that's led to some mistakes and a turnover already in this one.
Yeah, they had their longest play of the game, but that was bookended by 3 negative plays in that possession.
And so what you have to do is, if you're a defense, you got to pick them up. You got to pick that offense up a little bit. You got to make some plays right here. I want to see some guys get pressure. We need to get pressure on this quarterback. Haven't seen that yet tonight, except for a blitz from Hobbs.
Xavier Jones. Well, what did Gus Bradley tell us? They want to play fast, they want to play physical, and they want to get the ball out.
Yeah.
The turnovers, another big story, of course, last year, or lack thereof, from the defense.
Yeah, and then you have to have, when you're playing a team like this, I mentioned it earlier, when you're having a zone team, you have to get penetration up the field. That particular time, they did not. Outside zone play. And then if you start going sideways, they just push it to the sideline and come in behind you. And a pretty nice gain there. It looks like about a 5-yard, 6-yard gain.
Call it 6, 2nd and 4. Jones again.
Big hole.
First down, out to the 45.
A little trap action on the inside.
That was Matt Dickerson that let him slip away.
Start one way, and then go the other. See how they run it to the outside? Once you commit that way, and he comes back with his eyes. Nice job by the running back seeing that, but you got to have discipline inside there.
51, Malcolm Kuntz is out there on this possession for that Raider defense. Coming in from the left edge, they contain him, they'll throw the other way, and Atwell's got another first down.
No pressure. No pressure, and this, he's just sitting back there picking on parts like 7 on 7.
They're playing a little too soft in their zone coverages, Matt. The linebackers are getting pretty deep.
Yep.
And you see the corner up top, he gets turned around a little bit.
Yeah, he gets run off, and then Teamer comes back underneath, but look, that whole thing, a little bit of pressure on the quarterback makes him throw the ball a little quicker, and your zones automatically become better.
First down now in Raider territory. Well read and sniffed out by Teamer. Atwell taken down for a loss.
Really nice job, him working off the block. It looked like it was Hopkins out there trying to block him, but Teamer just shed him like it was nothing. Got off the block, makes the play, and it sets up the 2nd and 12. That's just a really nicely done job.
The one thing that's very noticeable already through 6 quarters of preseason football, this team's tackling better.
Yeah.
And Gus Bradley's a coach that really stresses the fundamentals and the techniques of fitting and playing with your eyes and tackling. The Raiders missed a league high 143 tackles a season ago. That's not going to happen again this season.
Setting up the screen for Jones, and flags flying behind the play.
That'll come back. That's going to be offensive holding.
Looks like they held Tanner Muse. He was in man on that coverage, and he tried to get through it. It looks like they had a little hold on him. He also couldn't hold on to the tackle as well.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the
Lemieux's coming right here, and they pushed him in the back as well. He still had a chance to make that. I guess it was kind of tough. And the guy still pushed it from behind.
Pushing and grabbing the jersey.
Yeah.
2nd and 22, and they are back on their own side of the 50 here.
Yeah, watch for a screen right around here.
Bunching 3 guys to the right. Perkins. Downfield. Oh, tough catch. Rasul Douglas had the coverage. He's saying incomplete, but Hadel says he caught it.
That's a good catch. That was great coverage. That's a nice break on the ball. That's not a ground. Yeah, that's not a catch.
Yep, incomplete is the ruling.
I love these receivers. It hits the ground. He catches it off the deflection off the ground, and he acts like he caught it. Like we don't have any cameras here to see it.
Nice break by Douglas on that ball. Really well done.
Free agent pickup from Carolina.
It's 3rd down. They'll keep everything in front of them. Play a zone. And they'll run at it.
Getting a big chunk back. Funk. Back down inside the 45. A gain of 14.
We want the funk. Gotta have that funk.
Ow.
We eat the funk.
First charge.
He probably has never heard that before.
Las Vegas. 30-second timeout.
He'll hear it when he goes back and plays this one back tonight.
They go, who's that idiot?
4th and 8.
Rich, I really like the way you sang that song.
Beth Mowins, Rich Gannon, Matt Millen. You're with us on this Saturday night in Los Angeles. The Raiders back in town to face the Rams. A 7-7 ball game. Of course, only 3 preseason games this year. They'll finish up in San Francisco next Sunday afternoon. And then they pick up the additional regular season game as we go from a schedule of 16 to 17 in the regular season in the NFL this year. Raiders will have 9 home games as a result at Allegiant, as they tacked on the Chicago Bears and the return of the MAC later this year. Perkins gonna go for it, gonna throw for it, gonna get it to J.J. Koski.
No pressure again.
Needed 8, got 9.
Well, Rasul Douglas was right there.
Coverage is fine. This is basically, Rich, look, you don't get any pressure, and he does. There's nothing there. Nice, clean pocket, able to step up. It's just like 7-on-7. 7-on-7, you should, it's one of those things you should.
Ball should hit the ground.
Exactly right. John Gruden knows it.
Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the first half. Another extended drive here for the Rams.
Ooh,
almost
he had
picked.
a chance on that one too.
There's Douglas. We've been calling his name a lot on this drive.
You're going to give him a double move. What? Now this is going to be is this going to be a taunting thing?
Taunting,
yes.
Yeah, he turned to the Rams sidelines and going to get you for that. One of the points of emphasis this year, the officials.
Celebrate with your own guys. Don't taunt the other guys. That's the.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 38.
Can't have it.
15 yards, the first down. They're going to get an additional timeout here with the 2-minute warning, and it's the first penalty of the day on the Raiders.
And he's a veteran. He should know better, especially in that situation.
So Douglas gets pulled. Nate Hobbs goes back in.
I always say when you put your own self-interest in front of the team, something bad usually happens. You got to be an unselfish player. Can't make that mistake in that situation and give the Rams the first down.
In the red zone for Los Angeles. Xavier Jones burrows his way down to the 15, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Even at 7, Rams trying to change that. Big opportunity here for the Raider D coming up. Well, Las Vegas has something for everyone. How about UFC International Fight Week beginning September 21st, featuring some of MMA's biggest stars at T-Mobile Arena. Then NASCAR rolls into town for the South Point 400 festivities beginning September 23rd, race day the 26th. And then on October 30th, Las Vegas Rugby Cup. It's USA-Ireland at Allegiant Stadium, Vegas. The greatest arena on earth. Plan now at visitlasvegas.com.
USA versus the motherland it is.
Yes, the Irish in town. Of course, 9 home football games. Starting out with Monday Night Football, September 13th against Baltimore. Miami also in town in September. Tua Tagovailoa going to run around the edge. Xavier Jones reaches for the pylon, doesn't quite get there.
Flag down.
Flag on the play.
Maybe they're going to flag the Raiders for not holding the edge. That'd be a penalty.
That's the third holding penalty on the Rams offense. Tremaine Ankrum. Oh, yeah. Had a hold of Malcolm Kuntz, number 51 right there.
See that right there, number 51 on your screen. Yeah, I would say he held him.
Got to let go of the jersey. See that jersey start getting tugged. The line judge is going to throw that flag every time, especially with the action, the run coming towards him.
Back out to the 25-yard line here. Perkins empty set. 4-man rush. On the move. He throws it short. And a good tackle in the open field by Amik Robertson.
Yeah, nice job by Robertson. Coming up to make the play right and keeping him in bounds.
Second charge timeout of the first half. Las Vegas, 30-second timeout.
John Gruden wants another opportunity.
1 minute, 47 seconds.
John Gruden would love to get an opportunity to get another drive, another 2-minute drive from his young quarterback, Nathan Peterman.
See if this defense can hold this 3 right here. That would be
going to stop here.
Yeah. So they got to be able to. They got to make the quarterback. Doesn't have to get a sack. You have to make him uncomfortable. He has to force his release to get off a little bit faster, so you don't have time back there, and then your defenders can be in a little bit better position to make a play.
Yeah, what a difference from last week to this week when they dominated possession and yardage. Just 66 total yards of offense in the first half here for the Raiders, who got the early score. Rams right now with the momentum.
The slot up top. They're going to call a timeout. What'd you see, Rich?
They show you that double A. That's one of the things that Gus Bradley does a really nice job of. They give you a number of different looks in their sub packets. They walk both those linebackers up in those A gaps between the center and the guard. And that presented some issues for the Rams from a protection standpoint.
Yeah. Well, what that does, though, when you do that, it kind of defines a little bit of what you're doing in terms of your secondary. Bradley, defensive coordinator for the Vegas Raiders. Upbeat guy, smart guy, knows the kind of scheme he wants to play. Like every scheme, though, it's only as good as the players you have in it. And so you have to get the right personnel for your group, or you adjust.
There it is again, the double A's.
Back inside.
Sometimes one comes, sometimes they both drop.
3rd and 13, the screen, and the Raiders defense is there. 4th down, 1:41 to go in the half. And the last timeout here for Las Vegas.
30-second timeout.
Kuntz was there and Lawson was there. Both did a nice job getting to the football.
Matt Gay will come on for the field goal attempt.
Been busy tonight.
Legs are going to be sore doing all the kicking and the punting.
There's we were looking at Kuntz right there. There's a rookie out of Buffalo. Remember, another rookie from Buffalo was here a few years ago.
Lil Mack.
Yeah, not a bad player.
Matt Gay with a 36-yard attempt. He was 80% last year for the Rams, and it's good. And LA takes the 10-7 lead, but 137 for the Raiders to work with when we come back.
I've been around Casey for, 4 years? This will be my 5th year with the kid. And what he is a true pro. And he's someone that they can bounce stuff off of. Plus, he leads by example. Now, it's not always example. He'll tell them, hey, that's not quite how we do it. But Casey is a pro. And I think that's what he brings to the table.
And there is Casey Hayward Jr. Time for tonight's Shift 4 resume. 10 years with the NFL, 5 with the Chargers most recently in the big offseason acquisition for the Raiders. 2 times an All-Pro in his career. Going to be a big positive influence. The Raiders are certainly hoping in that defensive backfield.
Smart veteran player, Beth, that brings some experience and toughness to the group. He spent his last 4 seasons with Gus Bradley and the Chargers. He played for the Packers. Prior to that, 2-time Pro Bowler. He's a guy that knows what to do in critical situations.
Perhaps most important, the interceptions. He's talked this preseason about how significant the takeaways have to be this year for that Raiders defense to get better.
And he's going to be really good in that classroom with those young corners.
All right, we swing it back to the offense. 2-minute drill, 1.5-minute drill for the Raiders with no timeouts. Completion to DJ Turner.
It's got to be a sense of urgency. The lineman got to run to the ball, get the ball spotted.
This is taking too long right here. Now they stop the clock.
Second charge timeout in the first half, Los Angeles. 30-second timeout.
That's interesting.
They couldn't get lined up.
Yeah.
So they took so much time that now the Rams think they can make a couple stops and get the ball back.
Rams weren't lined up right.
I think they had a problem. They just have the communication issue there. Rather than give up a big play before the half, they took a timeout. Look at John Gruden's call sheet. That's one of the bigger call sheets you'll see in the NFL. He's got a lot of plays. He never wants to go into a game short-handed.
He never has.
Never.
I first met John. He was helping with the 49ers when I was playing for the Niners. He was just he'd sit and watch film all day with you.
Peterman stepping up, slings it across the middle, and it's caught by the tight end, Alex Ellis, out across the 40, and the Raiders will hustle.
Hurry up.
Well done by Peterman, keeping his eyes down the field. Knew he could run if he wanted to, drew those guys up a little bit, and then dumped it back. Nice completion.
Incompletion here doesn't hurt you. Just can't have a sack. The ball's got to come out.
And there is the incompletion after the 15-yard gain. That was Chris Garrett again, bringing some heat.
A little bit pressure there. Right. No, this was the third down, the previous play rather. Nice job. See how he draw the defenders in and then he can dump it off on them.
The guy can throw from awkward body angles, changes the launch angle. Like a quarterback with mobility who can make plays with his legs outside the pocket.
8 for 12, 68 yards, and the interception off of the deflection.
Oh.
Incomplete.
What a nice throw, though.
We're going to hook up across midfield with Alex Ellis, and it's 3rd down.
Decent protection. They brought 5. When it looked like the 5th guy was in the middle, it looked like he may even have been spying Peterman, which would have been a good move.
Big 3rd down.
See if they do the same thing. Ernest Jones, 50, right in the middle. Looks like he's eyeballing. Nope, he's on the back. A lot of time.
Peterman all day, and he's forced to drop it off underneath. And the Raiders will come up short. A flag down.
It's going to be a hold, probably.
Raiders 0 for 5 on 3rd downs in this first half. course, that also stops the clock there at 50 seconds to go. 4th down.
Not as clean a performance from that group up front, that offensive line that we saw last week against Seattle. There's been some mistakes, there's been some technique issues, and there's been some sloppy play with some holds.
Waitman to punt it away.
Nice and high, not real deep. Oh, that's a
fair
free
catch,
ball.
and it's muffed.
That's it.
And the Raiders have it at the 30-yard line.
There's a flag down here, however.
Trent Sieg, the long snapper, recovered it, but a flag down at the 15-yard line.
Officials are getting together to try and sort this one out. I'm wondering if they pick up the flag. Apparently not.
Prior to the loose ball being recovered by Las Vegas, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the kicking team number 33.
I saw it and I disagree with the call. That's just, well, let me say this.
His head?
40 years ago, this was fine. Now, this was just a tough physical play. The guy's going to try to take the block on you, go down and drill him. That's what you do.
That's 33, Roderick Teamer.
There he is right here. Oh, jeez.
So what's that?
Wow, is that a bad call?
What?
I mean, he lowers his shoulder.
He runs through the guy.
He doesn't lower the crown of his helmet. He's got his eyes up, and that's a really bad decision. And you can see John Gruden letting the side judge know about it. That's why we have preseason games, not just for the players and the coaches, but the officials as well. That's not a good call.
Look, the guy's coming over to block him. What are you supposed to do? You run through it. That's what you do.
That's terrible.
That's a bad break for the Raiders. They lose possession. And it'll be down inside the 30.
That's the penalty that you pick up the flag. That's when you get the officials together and you just pick the flag up. That's just, you can see John Gruden.
Nah, don't worry. The league will come out with this and show you how it was, you know. They
always clean it up on Monday, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Never on Sunday.
It used to drive me crazy. They'd call you on the next day and say, hey, we made a mistake on that. And I was like, oh, really? Yeah. Meanwhile, it cost us the
Doesn't
game.
help us now, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're looking at least you would think a game-tying field goal, if not a touchdown opportunity there for the Raiders. And that's taken away. And Perkins, with 26 seconds to go, will work out of the gun.
Maybe they run it here a couple times and get out of the half. Maybe not.
Well, they're going to look to throw, and the Raiders are going to put some pressure on him, and he's going to take a hit.
Robertson, nice hit.
Meek Robertson. And a flag in the backfield.
That'll be a hold.
Legal use of hands. Hands to the face on the offense, number 67. 10-yard penalty. First down.
This has been a rough one for the Rams in the penalty department here in the first half. Goodness.
There it is.
7th penalty.
Gonna run into there.
Brewer. Right in the middle of your screen.
Chandler Brewer.
And now maybe you just hand it off and run into the locker room. Jones. And that could be it. Asmir Bilal credited with the tackle, and we will head to the locker room with the Rams leading the Raiders 10-7.
This is the end of the first half.
Tough break for Las Vegas. Thought they had the late turnover and a chance to put some points up. And the questionable call takes that opportunity away.
But a sloppy first half, not a crisp first half.
Let's check in with Coach Gruden.
Coach, thanks for spending a moment with us. A lot of players getting the opportunity to play tonight, but not as clean a performance as we saw in the first half against Seattle last week.
No, we got to play a lot better. Obviously, we had a mistake on a 3rd and short. We had a tip pass on a 1st and 10, and our pass protection let us down a couple times. Credit the Rams. They're heating us up pretty good. We got to play a lot better.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thank you, Coach Gruden. And with the score, Rams 10, Raiders 7. We'll be back with more of halftime right after this. Welcome back. Halftime here in Los Angeles with the Raiders and the Rams. Well, last week, Raiders owner Mark Davis welcomed Raider Nation inside Allegiant Stadium for the very first time. The star-studded grand opening featured world-class performances and set a new standard for in-stadium entertainment. Here's a look back at the historic milestone.
Now to see fans just walking around here with their head on a swivel. Today is about the fans of the Raiders.
Welcome to the first Raiders game in Las Vegas with fans on hand. 65,000 strong. It's a full house.
Just a great ambiance. I mean, they have done an outstanding job at creating this stadium for the Las Vegas Raiders.
This will be the first time that this team, and team owner Mark Davis will all be here as one, together.
We've been on a journey for 60 years to build this thing, and with the people up here, we got it done. I just want to say, Raider Nation, welcome home.
Let's hear it for Judith Hill and the members of this community who have been working tirelessly over the past 18 months for everyone here. Thank you.
This is school, man. This is a great stadium, great people, something we was looking forward for a long time. I mean, and I can't wait till the season starts.
She's here to light the torch in memory of Al Davis.
This is more spectacular than I even imagined.
I'm very excited to be here. Opening up of the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium here, Allegiant Stadium. A beautiful, beautiful building.
To see the world coming back together and to be in this stadium with these fans again, it just warms my heart. I thank them all for coming out, and we are really, really excited about playing in front of them for the rest of this year.
And Rodriguez, touchdown, Raiders.
To be here with Santana and everybody was just so fun. But you know what? The love in the stadium was so strong. You could feel it. Fans, oh my gosh, they're amazing. You guys rock.
Run out, and the Raiders have won their first game in front of fans at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas.
Good, man. Get out first one in the stadium. Appreciate all the Raider fans showing up. A great atmosphere. We love y'all.
Beautiful sunset over downtown Los Angeles. It's SoFi SoFi Stadium tonight for the Rams and the Raiders. And after Las Vegas took the 7-0 lead, Rams with 10 unanswered. Bad break late in the half. The Raiders appeared to have a turnover and taken away on a penalty. And look at those third downs, Rich.
Neither team could convert a third down, Beth. And Matt and I were just talking during the break. When you go against the team in practice on Wednesday and Thursday, and you look at all the reps that these players got and how competitive these practices were, Matt, to me it looks like the Raiders line play. The offensive line play, the defensive line play, these guys don't have their legs underneath them, and we've seen some mistakes.
Yeah, it looked like they're a little tired, but you know what? It's game time, so you have to go. So this is what you are, right? We're putting this on your film. This is your film. You're signing this. And so when you do that, you got to be, you're telling everybody this is what you are. So you better pick it up.
Raiders will kick it away to start this third quarter. Game 2 of the preseason after a win over Seattle last week. They will face the 49ers on the road next week. Raymond Calais will let that one bound through the end zone.
This is the biggest thing, the biggest difference if you go from the first half to the second half. If they can generate a pass rush, that'll make a world of difference. They have not been able to do that so far in this game.
I'm sure Gus Bradley talked to him about the staples in this defense. Fast, physical, and ball extraction. You want to get the ball out. And I just want to see him play fast and physical here in the second half. I just want to see the tempo be better from this front seven.
Bryce Perkins, 11 of 16, 73 yards, and the touchdown pass to Kendall Blanton. The Raiders score coming on their second possession. A fourth down, 3-yard touchdown for Trey Regis. Calais is the back. He'll take the pitch. Will not be able to get around that right edge. That's Max Richardson, one of the linebackers, coming up to make the play.
Yeah, it's a nice job of, so they can't get the edge. And the reason they don't get the edge is because they have an outside defender coming up on the, see him right on the outside there, who's that?
Tanner Muse was out there too?
Yeah, it's 26. That's Nevin Lawson.
Lawson.
Richardson did a nice job inside out. Didn't lose leverage. It's good team defense right there.
Second and 10 out of the gun. Perkins makes the completion to Tutu Atwell. It'll be about a yard or two shy, depending on the spot. Gillespie with the stop. Tyree, the rookie out of Missouri, the 4th-round pick.
Yeah, so here you go. It's going to be, 3rd and 1. The opportunity to get off the ball, get off the field, right here. So you have to play good up front. Good up-front defense. It all starts right there.
That's Darius Stills, the undrafted guy out of West Virginia, number 56 in white, joining that front line. They'll run it up the middle. They will get it.
Stoops comes up hobbling right there.
We got a number of players down. We got both Kuntz and White down.
He's looking at his left knee, both of them.
Well, already what appeared to be an injury this week to Nicholas Morrow during the scrimmages. Nick Kwiatkowski's been dinged up. Divine Diablo, they were hoping to get back next week. We'll be back in a moment.
It doesn't look good there. I think his leg got trapped.
Yeah, right here in the middle of your screen.
Yeah, right there.
He gets rolled up on.
Yeah.
On a friendly fire.
They will take him right into the tent. So a couple of linebackers out after that play for the Raiders.
And when you lose linebackers, Matt can speak to this, the communication. That's where a lot of the communication starts from the front. It can be a problem.
Yeah, your middle backer should control that whole defense. He should be calling everything with the fronts and coordinating everything with the back.
They'll stick with the 4-2-5 here. And it's Muse and Richardson now in at linebacker. Flag down on the perimeter block. Muse got in on the tackle.
He's going to go against the Rams.
And now Calais hurt on the play.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 88. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Second one on Hopkins. Looks like he was just blocking before.
Downfield.
Yeah.
Well, now Calais will need to be helped off. And an unfortunate scene there for Javen White. He is now on the back of the cart. Derek Carr over there, trying to help him through a tough moment.
One thing I appreciate about Derek Carr, he's a great leader on this football team. Whether it's an offensive player, defensive player, an older player, younger player, he's always there. Watch him on the sidelines during these preseason games. Beth, he's running out there congratulating players and giving them high fives, and he's also over there offering condolences for the young players like a Javen White.
Second and 20 here for the Rams. Perkins on the move and gets to the edge. Gain of 9 and another penalty flag down, and that's back around the line of scrimmage.
Been a pretty sloppy game in terms of penalties so far.
And what happens, Matt, you work on Wednesday and Thursday together, and these guys are out there, they're competing, and then all of a sudden you get out here, your legs get a little tired, and what happens is your technique starts to fall off. You start reaching, you start grabbing, you're out of position, and you start getting some sloppy play. And I think both coaches, Sean McVay and John Gruden, certainly would admit to that, and probably not be surprised, because I know that Wednesday and Thursday, they were very physical practices between these two teams.
Please set the play clock to 40 seconds. Thank you.
I really think you get better work on Wednesday and Thursday than you do sometimes out here in a preseason game. You get to look at them in individual periods, one-on-one pass rush, Matt. You get one-on-ones with the receivers and defensive backs. You get the veteran players like Carr and Waller and Jacobs taking valuable reps. Whereas in these preseason games, the focus is to really evaluate the young players on your roster.
Yeah, midweek it was ones versus ones. 3rd and 10 after the penalty sets the Rams back. Pressure coming, and they take him down. Tanner Muse, one of the first guys on the scene. And Darius Philon finished him off.
Muse is going to come from the left side of your screen, or right side of your screen.
Yeah, we talk about these double A's, Matt. You don't know which one's coming. They got them both up in there. They drop one, and they bring Tanner Muse. You see, he starts like he's going to drop his little green dog, and then he comes late, and they don't pick it up. That's well done.
Yeah, it's a delay, and so you see that little fake that he does, and that allows that back. He has to make a choice, right? So the back goes back inside, the tackle comes down, he comes free.
4th and 16, and the punt is away in the direction of Dylan Stoner.
Should have some good return opportunities with a kicker punting tonight.
42-yard punt, not bad from Matt Gay. 2 yards on the return. Raider football when we come back.
It's been a joy for me to come back and play here for a second time around. You guys welcome me back with open arms, as if I never left. Though this is my last game in the Coliseum, just know that I'll never leave you. Go Raiders.
Charles Woodson speaking to Raider Nation after his last home game in Oakland on Christmas Eve 2015. And the recent addition to the Pro Football Hall of Fame after a stellar career with the Raiders and the Green Bay Packers.
Great player with a great number from another great player, Willie Brown.
Yeah, I was lucky, Matt, to play with Charles Woodson, and I had a real appreciation for his body of work. And you know when I knew he was going to be a player? My first year in '99 was his second year in the league, and I watched him cover Tim Brown and Jerry Rice in practice, future Hall of Famers. I said, this guy is going to be the real deal. He was just so physical, so good, such a great ball hawk, terrific tackler.
Dragus
Ohio
wrapped
kid
up in the back.
Went to Michigan.
Fremont, Ohio. Yeah. He had a chance to go really anywhere he wanted. Chose Michigan, won the Heisman Trophy there. We actually used him on offense a couple times, and looking back, one of the mistakes, we probably didn't use him enough because he could have been a great receiver in this league as well.
First ballot Hall of Famer, joining the likes of Rod Woodson and Ronnie Lott, Dion, Ed Reed, Champ Bailey, Darrell Green in the last 20 years. And the catch is made by Alex Ellis, and a hookup from Peterman to his tight end for a first down.
Yeah, nicely done by the offensive line to give him. That's a crossing route, and it's gonna take a little time to develop. So he's gonna have to have some time back there. And you can see the offensive line picks everybody up. They got the 4 of the stunt. That crosser comes, and he's enough time to make that throw. Well done by Peterman and the O-line.
21 yards. That's the biggest play for the offense tonight. Getting some pointers from Foster Moreau. That's another guy we've heard a lot about in practices as the backup for Waller. And just like the last time they had a big offensive play, they follow it up with a negative. Eric Banks with the sack.
I didn't see the protection, but it looked like
Jones Smith gets beat.
Smith gets beat to the inside. Oh yeah. Yeah, so he doesn't. So what he does is he goes and meets him. Watch his feet. Your hips and feet are the most important part. You got to stay in front of that guy. He's coming down on him. He had to kick his hips in front, and he wasn't able to do it. He got a hit and pushed him actually forward.
Well, you hate to give up a sack on 1st and 10 on a play-action pass.
-9. 2nd and 19 for Peterman. Jimmy Morrissey is the new center. Incomplete. Intended for Stoner across the middle. Hughes got a big hit, 3rd down.
He knew he was going inside. He knew the defender was going to be there. Fred Militnikoff makes that catch.
That's right. And I always say it doesn't hurt as much if you catch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fred was always good in those sticky situations. 3rd and 19. They run the draw, and it's 4th down.
Well, that was a bad sequence there. They got the sack, they can't get it back, they missed a throw, and they waste a good opportunity around midfield.
Not a good series.
Brandon Calais will be the deep man.
Offense is just taking turns and making mistakes. It's not one player.
It's a nice punt.
Yeah, fair catch is made. And we'll take the break and be back to Los Angeles. 3-point Rams lead here in the 3rd.
I've talked to a lot of the guys. I've talked to Mayock, Gruden, the whole Raiders organization. They've done a great job. So we thought it would be a great idea. We got a big $30,000 donation from the whole entire team for your organization, for your foundation, Darren Waller Foundation. So we got you hooked up, brother.
A big moment for Darren Waller. That was earlier in training camp. A big check from the coaches and teammates for the Darren Waller Foundation, which supports youth battling drug and alcohol addiction through recovery and treatment. How special a night was that, Darren, to see that kind of outpouring from the Raider organization?
Yeah, I mean, that was almost overwhelming, you know, to feel that love from the team and them wanting to support the mission and the vision that I have. That was a pretty incredible day.
Darren, it took you a little while to figure things out in this league, but since coming over to the Raiders, boy, you've made your mark. Over 197 catches, over 2,300 yards the last 2 seasons. What was it about John Gruden's system that was a perfect fit for your skill set?
I mean, I feel like it was a challenge in a good way. It allowed me to line up in a whole bunch of different spots and to just, you know, play football and develop so many different parts of my game. And there's not a lot of routes that I can't run, and they really helped me develop that belief in myself by challenging me to line up in so many different spots, and that just allowed me to keep getting open.
Darren, your teammates right now celebrating the interception for Nate Hobbs.
Nate Hobbs is a baller, man.
Yeah, Darren, I wanted to ask you about Nate because he's been like this for the last 4 years at Illinois, and he's bringing the same game right here. You have to see the same thing in practice.
Darren, they've moved you all around this offense. You play as an inline player, you play outside the numbers. Where can you make the biggest leap this year? Where can you make the most improvement in this offense this season?
I mean, the biggest leap for me is always going to be run game, blocking. Okay, Nate. Just as far as the technique, just the footwork, as far as, you know, short, smaller steps, whereas me, I'm a long strider, so it's a lot of things that are kind of the opposite of my athletic gifts. So it's just, you know, making sure that I'm honing that footwork in and knowing that, you know, I'm going to be asked to be out there for 90% of the snaps and greater, and there can't be, you know, any drop-off. I need to make sure that every part of my game is at that elite level.
You know, we're watching this game right now, Darren. What we're not seeing is what you guys did this week in practice. And I thought you had a couple of really good days. I thought it was physical. I thought you met the challenge. I think you guys kind of came out of that with a lot more confidence.
Oh yeah, guys got after it. You know, guys they got that fighting spirit and everything. But I mean, they love playing football. We're a physical team. That's how we get the job done. And I like the way that the line came out was blocking. How, you know, Josh and the running backs were running through holes, running through people running hard after the catch. And looking over, seeing what the defense was doing to their offense, it was a great thing to see.
What encourages you, Darren, every day in practice working against this defense, and what is going to make that side of the ball better this year?
I'm encouraged by just how enthusiastic they are. You see that their scheme is a lot simpler this year. It allows them to just free up and just show who they really are as individual players and as a collective unit, so they can just fly around and not have to think as much. And that's when you see guys really having fun and really just lighting people up.
All right, Darren, we're going to let you check out this drive as they continue to churn out the yardage. The Las Vegas Raiders on the move here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Appreciate you.
Thanks, D.
Yep.
And the hiccup on the drive here, the holding penalty, Jared Jones-Smith. A nice moment there for Raider fans. They got some good seats here.
Darren Waller is unstoppable. I mean, he is such a terrific player. He's so good that the passing attack rightfully runs right through him. I mean, he led the team in receptions last year. You don't a lot of teams where the tight end has that type of production. He is just so dangerous when he is lined up outside the numbers.
Pass caught by Dylan Stoner back down inside the 40.
I kind of like Stoner. Stoner's got some good quickness to him.
Yeah, I like his toughness.
He's one of the players, Matt, that Coach Gruden pointed out to us in the meeting today. There's a guy that's really come in and turned some heads.
Undrafted out of Oklahoma State. Had nearly 200 catches in his collegiate career with the Pokes. He's the 8th different guy to catch a ball from Peterman tonight.
Nice.
And I think that's number 9, Matt Bushman with the grab. It is.
Nicely done by Peterman, getting the ball out quick. He sees the coverage fast, and he knows where the hole's going to be. That's a nice job.
Gruden likes these tight ends. You know, we just talked to Darren Waller. He's not in uniform. Paulson Moreau's not playing. Derek Carrier. So it's been Bushman and Ellis and Bowers, and these guys do a good job finding the holes in coverage.
Yeah. Peterman did a nice job of seeing it right away.
Need the conversion here, 3rd and 4. 5-man rush. Raiders pick it up, and they're going to be a yard short. Alex Ellis, it's 4th down.
We're going to go for it. Yeah. That was pretty good right there by Peterman. Peterman saw it, identified it, he called it at the line of scrimmage, and then he was able to make the completion. It's going to set up this 4th down. That was good coverage on the backside.
You love the receiver to get his depth. Just, don't run on 3rd and 5. Don't run a 4-yard crossing route. Give me 5 or 6 yards.
They'll go on 4th and 1. And a timeout called prior to the snap by the Raiders.
I think there was a mistake there. I think John Gruden didn't like what he saw. He called the timeout.
They'll go with the I formation this time with Groshak joining Regis.
Yeah, get that fullback in there. Just follow the fullback.
See what happens. They're bringing the people too. Good job. Nice call.
Oh, they're going to throw to him. And they've got the 1st down. Garrett Groshak with the grab.
I like that call. It's a good job. So they saw that they were going to run it on the previous play, and they called the timeout, so they used it against them.
Yeah, just watch the fullback, man. He's going to bluff, and then he goes out to the flat, and watch the tailback. He's going to make the cut.
Yeah, now watch the defenders also. They're expecting that same thing. Eyes are in the backfield. He just slips to the outside. Groshak does a nice job of just taking it there.
That's the old Spider 2Y banana. That's one of John Gruden's staple throws.
They keep moving the chains down into the red zone for the Raiders. Peterman. They'll run it. Emmons. Christian Roseboom got him. Pick up a 3.
Spotted out of 14, 2nd and 7.
It's Parker Anger now joining that group up front. Peterman, 10 different receivers.
He doesn't discriminate. He throws to the open receiver.
Stepping back to throw. Now he'll step up and run down to the 10-yard line. Ball is out.
I think he might have been down.
56, Christian Roseboom makes the stop.
Well, they're marking it back where the ball was.
Yeah, none of the officials, though, recovered by the Raiders. Jeremiah Potosi. That'll bring up 3rd down.
I think that knee is down before the ball comes out.
I think you might be right.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. It's a hit to the head, too.
And they might need to take a look at that one. It's the one thing that Nathan Peterman's not afraid to do. When it gets congested back there, he has the
he can run.
Athleticism and the ability to pull it down and make a big play. And he's gotten stronger. You look at his body. He's filled in a little bit. That's stronger than he was 4 or 5 years ago. I think he's throwing the ball better. Let's put some weight on that frame. 225 pounds now. Probably came in as about 215-pound rookie. 2 pounds of muscle.
They're going to spot it here on the 11-yard line, 3rd and 4.
Field shrinks down here. I always remind the receivers, and I say you got to get your head around quickly. The defense doesn't have as much field, as much space to defend. So I have to get the ball up and down quick. If I'm going to throw these post routes, I've got to get it up and down quick, Matt, in those tight windows.
And the angles change down here. Everything's a lot tighter. I wonder if they're still talking about the spot. No, it doesn't look like it.
I think the game clock reconfigured here. Third and 4. Peterman knocked down, incomplete. There were 5 blue jerseys in the vicinity, and Roseboom got a hand on it. 4th down.
He never saw it.
No, he never did. Yep. And all he did was watch his eyes. He went right to it.
Kicking unit comes on. Carlson will have a chip shot here. 29-yarder. And then late in the play, an injured Ram. That's Roseboom, the guy who got the deflection there.
Maybe his hair got in his eyes. I'm just thinking.
I didn't see anything. I mean, he made a play on the ball.
That was a heck of a play made. Eyeballed the quarterback the whole way. Got his hand in there. Well done.
Carlson to tie it up, 29 yards out, and it's good.
The 29-yard attempt is good.
10-10, 2:34 to go in the third in Los Angeles.
Las Vegas at 10.
29-yard field goal, Daniel Carlson capping off a 9-play, 49-yard drive over 5 minutes off of the interception by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders have evened things up. Beth Mowins, Rich Gannon, Matt Millen with you tonight at SoFi Stadium. Inching closer to the season opener. One more preseason game. Perhaps we'll see Marcus Mariota at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara next Sunday afternoon.
I think he's getting closer. He did some work this week in practice. Maybe just being smart with him.
And of course, Derek Carr is set to run the show again. Another terrific year statistically for Derek. Of course, he'll be the first to tell you trade them all in for wins. And a shot at the playoffs.
During a return, holding, receiving team number 39. 10-yard penalty. First down.
There's Tom Cable with the offensive line. Getting everybody on the same page.
It's not easy, Matt, when you're rolling a bunch of young players through different combinations. You know how important that communication is.
Oh, yeah. That's why he's talking to the centers.
Making sure they're on the same page, and they put a lot of responsibility on these centers.
If you're a center, if you can't see, you can't play. You got to see the whole field just like the quarterback has to. You guys got to be on the same exact page.
So 1st and 10, Rams from the 10. Short game to the right.
Nice job of attacking that. Yeah, good job of attacking that, getting vertical. And try to zone that thing off.
There's a good combo the last few years for the Raiders. Renfro, he has seemed to develop a really good trust with Derek Carr.
He's so good on 3rd down. He always makes himself available. He's a chain mover on 3rd down, Renfro.
Quicker than a hiccup, man. That guy.
3rd year now out of Clemson, and he's going to be with Ruggs and Edwards. So a pair of 2nd-year guys. That is the projected starting trio at wideout for the Raiders.
That's a group, Beth, that needs to take the next step. You know, you look at Ruggs and Brian Edwards, both 2nd-year receivers. Just 26 catches a season ago for Ruggs. Just 11 catches for Edwards. Ahead of John Brown, Willie Snead.
They've got skills. They have ability. They got to make it work.
They got to stay on the field. That's the other thing. You know, the young guys missed some snaps, missed some practice time last year.
Brace on the rollout, finds his man, Landon Akers. First down.
And that play's been running in this league for years and years and years. So once you get that motion as a defender on the second level, the first thing you have to do is turn,
look for the crosser,
and look for the crosser every single time. They've been running this thing to death tonight.
They're just a step late. Tanner Muse saw it, man. He just late getting his head around and couldn't chase him down.
We saw Javen White carted off earlier tonight. Malcolm Kuntz tried to shake off his injury and then recently was walking back towards the locker room.
That was well played.
Mick Robertson with the pass breakup. So the linebacking core getting even thinner than when we started the night.
Yeah, Robertson does a nice job of staying on top of that. He tried to go over the top, and so he was perfect position.
Mika's a guy that's counting numbers, probably looking around at that cornerback room and wondering if when that musical chairs, when that music ends, you know, the cut down to 53, if his name will be on that list.
Simple, Beth. Just make a few plays. That's all it takes.
Yeah. We've seen that from Hobbs.
We've seen a lot of it from Hobbs.
Isaiah Johnson is another young guy who's been nicked up. He may be able to come back next week. We still got another quarter to go tonight in LA. Raider Nation out in force. Even at 10, Hobbs with a nice pick. One of the highlights for the silver and black. 10-10, Las Vegas and Los Angeles. A beautiful look at SoFi Stadium at Inglewood. All even to the fourth. Each week throughout the regular season, the Las Vegas Raiders, in partnership with Intermountain Healthcare, will proudly recognize local youth football players who have made an impact on their community. Stay tuned for September 13th, where we will recognize our first Intermountain Healthcare Player of the Week. Final 15 minutes and a third down for the Rams. Raider D trying to get off the field, and the Rams will come up a bit short. Tutu Atwell with the catch. Evan Lawson there at the bottom, along with Max Richardson defensively.
Yeah, so they're staying on the field. They're gonna look like they're going to go for it here on fourth.
Looks like Jake Funk will stay out there as the tailback.
That's a long yard. It's about a yard and a half.
Yeah. Almost 2.
And now the timeout. Well, perhaps we have seen the emergence tonight of Nate Hobbs. Saw some good things from him last week, and again in the scrimmages with the Rams, and he has really jumped to the head of the class in terms of some of these young guys having an impact in the secondary.
And the one thing that really shows to me is his experience. You say, well, what are you talking about? Well, he's a 4-year starter at Illinois. He played a lot of football. His size and his length for a corner, he's got some safety-like toughness, man, when you watch him tackle. I love the fact that he always seems to be around the football.
He's got great instincts. That's just what he does. He's been doing that his whole life. He's not going to stop now.
Been around Lovie Smith at Illinois, the former pro coach with the Bears.
Oh, good coverage. That was a really nice job on the outside. There was a, let's see the number. May have been Lawson. Lawson fell off because it looked like they were going to try to swing up the sideline. Then he came back inside. Just well done by Lawson.
Turnover on downs. Back to the Raiders when we come back.
Party in the backfield. It's a party in the backfield. Don't be late to the party. Already RSVP.
Come on!
Well, our time's coming too.
Oh, yeah. Come on now. Come on. You already know the deal.
Oh, got him! Got him! Got him!
Now mic'd up featuring Max Crosby, brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Raiders. And there is a tip and an interception for the Rams. Bronte Harris. Second pick of the night for the Rams.
It's actually a good throw. I think Keelan Doss has to make this catch, man.
I'm 100% agree with those. Just going to say the same thing. Does a nice job. He comes back to the ball. That's his catch.
Goes right off his shoulder pad and right through the hands.
So after the fourth down stop, the Raiders give it back to the Rams.
Once again, unable to take advantage of really good field position. You get the ball on the plus side of the field, and you've got to come away with points. And you can't fault Peterman. He makes a good throw there. The receiver's got to find a way to come down with it.
All right, as Bryce Perkins and the offense takes over. From mic'd up to on the mic with us, Max Crosby.
What's up?
Joining the program. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on.
Max, what has been the biggest difference? We heard you talking with Yannick Ngakoue with the mic on at practice the other day. The leadership, the influence of guys like Yannick and Gerald McCoy and some others that have been through some of the NFL wars over the years.
Yeah, you know, our room is incredible this year. I really, you can feel it. You know, you go on the practice field and everybody has one mission. You know, we're trying to get after the quarterback and be the best version of ourselves every single day. So, you know, it's nothing but motivation every single day. It's awesome.
Yeah, Max, so just watching you play, you can see you've taken a step physically. Looks like you're a little bit bigger this year. What's the difference for you coming into camp this year as opposed to your rookie year?
Yeah, you know, this offseason, I looked in the mirror, figured out what I needed to do to be the best version of myself, and I've been, you know, in the building since end of January, just working on myself, getting healthy, and getting in the best shape possible to, you know, go out there and put on a show this year.
What's your what's the weight you like to stay at and play at?
I like 260, 265, so that's what I'm at right now, and I'm feeling really good, and camp has been going great.
Max just 21 sacks a season ago, fourth fewest in the league. And that doesn't sit well with you. Only 14 and a half of those sacks came from the defensive line. You had 7 of them. Tell me why the Raider pass rush is going to be better and more consistent this year under Gus Bradley.
There's nothing, you know, I could really say. You know, we just got to show you guys on Sundays, and it's coming very soon.
It's one of those things. It's not because of a lack of effort. Everybody's out there playing as hard as they can. You just have to find a way to make a play. And so between you and Yannick, that should be fun to watch.
Absolutely. You know, we're super excited. We're pushing each other every single day, and we can't wait to put on a show for the fans.
You know, Max, the one guy who I've been watching a lot, and I think the world of him, and it's Gerald McCoy, him coming over. I think he's a pro. I think he's a guy who's been there. I think he's not quite there yet with his legs under him, but I think that's a guy who's really going to help the room.
Absolutely. You know, Gerald, you know, since the second he walked in the building, you know, he's been nothing but a positive influence. He works super hard, and he's had an amazing career so far. And, you know, for a guy like that to come in the building and be nothing but, you know, great energy is special. And our room, you know, we appreciate him being here, and I think he's going to be a big part of what we got going on.
Max, last one. What's the biggest difference from a year ago in terms of the scheme with Gus Bradley?
You know, Coach Gus likes to keep things simple, you know, have everybody playing fast, and we, you know, emphasize taking the ball away and scoring. So I definitely would expect, you know, a lot of big plays and people flying around and having fun. So that's what we plan on doing.
Well, Max, thank you so much. We appreciate the time. And best of luck to you and that D-line moving forward.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Yep. I appreciate you. All right, Matt.
You know, this guy loves competing. And the thing that's great about Max Crosby is he never forgot where he's from. But he loves to practice. You watch this kid in practice, he doesn't want to take a rep off.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. That's the way it always was. Of course, I think that was more fear-driven. You were afraid somebody's going to take your job.
He's trying to hustle back down with his buds to watch the defense, see if they can come up with a stop here on third down.
Second charge timeout, Los Angeles. 30 seconds.
Oh, there's a good sign, too, for Raider Nation. Malcolm Kuntz is back on the field after getting hurt earlier in the game.
A lot of the players talk about Gus Bradley's system, and it's a player-friendly system. His philosophy is, less volume, and we want to play fast. Now, I think there's some merit to that when you look at what they do. They don't want them out there thinking about 10, 12 different things, Matt. They just want to really simplify things, really focus on the technique and fundamentals, a lot of repetitions in practice. They do it over and over again, but they get off on the football, and that's really where it starts when you talk about a controlled pass rush.
And the Raiders will get another third down stop here. Kuntz caught him from behind.
Yeah, that's good hustle by Kuntz, who's able to get out there. Sets up this fourth down.
I thought you said something that was really good, Matt, when it talked about the Gus Bradley system. Confidence equals speed, you said. And when you're confident and you know what's coming, you can run faster.
Yeah. And so Rich and I were talking about this earlier. Don't be deceived by simplify. It's not like they're eliminating things. They're keeping it simple on the front end. You get the feeling that we're going to have a limited menu, but the reality is they don't, and that's no good.
That was tipped, and was that Hobbs again?
Don't tell me. There's another shock, huh? Nate Hobbs has been phenomenal.
Bottle it, Nate. Boy, has he got Raider Nation revved up about what's to come. The rookie out of Illinois. Paws up, knocks it down. Well, upon further review, let's give the credit to Darius Philon for the block.
Yeah, he's right there in the middle of your screen. All 6'1", 286 pounds. Look at this vertical leaping ability, man.
Yeah, he almost got off the ground. Now that's a squatty body, so that means that's a low kick, but a good job of him getting his hands up. He was able to get a nick on it.
Keeps the score 10-all. Raiders take over, and they'll run it with B.J. Emmons, the rookie out of Florida Atlantic.
Philon's going to be part of that defensive line, that second wave of that defensive line. You talk about Quentin Jefferson and Solomon Thomas and Darius Philon, Gerald McCoy. They're going to have a good rotation, Matt, to keep those fresh bodies in there for 60 minutes.
He's, like you said, he's 6'1", 290. He's got some quick twitch in him. Gets off the ball really quick. I like that part of his game.
Run it again, close to a first down for B.J. Emmons.
This offense needs to put together a drive. It's about time to crank up the volume a little bit. This has been a kind of a sluggish performance from this offense. To put together a drive and finish.
Got Omame and Anger and Jimmy Morrissey. The 7th-round pick out of Pittsburgh now on that left side. They'll run it to the right. Emmons tripped up, but I think the lunge was good. First down, Raiders.
Good awareness by Emmons. Understands where the sticks are. Just gave that little extra effort at the end to move those chains. Groshek does a kind of lousy job on that one. But I want you to watch how Emmons finishes. He knows where the sticks are. See how he lunges forward at the end? Well done.
Back and forth with Emmons and Regis. So there's Josh Jacobs, first guy on the scene to give him a pat on the helmet.
Somebody needs to make a play here.
Yeah.
Peterman working out of the gun.
There it is.
He flips it forward. Regis with room to run.
That was smart by Peterman.
Not inside the 35.
Yeah, that's good wherewithal. In the middle of that play, and he sees Regis, and he's just going to flip it to him.
Does a nice job stepping up, taking some of the pressure off of that edge rush, and he does a nice job keeping his head on a swivel and finding the back.
Yeah, good awareness of where he was. That's a forward pass.
Just about to say they didn't have a play of over 20 yards yet tonight, and now they do. 23. The catch and run for Regis. Run it again. Down inside the 30 to the 29.
This is the way they started this game. Running the football like this. They've come back to it again. Regis doing the same kind of thing.
You get the sense, Matt, when you look at Regis, he's kind of a throwback. I think he's one of those backs that the more touches he gets, the better he performs. And he's a guy that I think when you give him the carries, he can wear down the defense over the course of a game.
Yeah.
He's not a big guy.
He's not a tall guy.
But he's not tall, but he's got some power at 215 pounds.
Yeah, he's
stocky.
Squatty body.
Off the pump, going over the top, got a man into the end zone. Marcel Aitman, touchdown Raiders.
They get him on a double move.
Yeah,
it was well done by the quarterback with the pump fake and a really nice route that throws the corner.
That's the first one we've seen here tonight.
He's going to little slant and go. This is just well done.
They bit. Corner bit hard. Eyes were inside the whole time. Yeah, not good. Nice job by Aitman to get up top of him.
Look at Carr down there. First one with the hugs.
We love those taller receivers, too. Marcel Aitman had a really productive preseason a year ago.
You talked about making plays, guys. Well, they made them on that drive. 6 plays, 67 yards in under 4 minutes.
Yeah, and lost in that was good protection by that offensive line. The same guys we were talking about a little earlier were kind of getting their rear end handed to them. This time they stayed in there really nice.
29 yards, Peterman to Aitman. Carlson for the extra, and it's good. Peterman with the pump. Aitman with the snag. 17-10, Las Vegas. 17-10, Raiders over the Rams here in the fourth. Peterman to Aitman. Tonight's play of the game brought to you by San Manuel Casino.
Double move, like we said. Aitman gets on top right there. But what we don't see on this particular is a great throw by Peterman. You see him get himself up off the ground because he did take a late hit where somebody was in his face.
The touchdown drive coming off of the blocked field goal by Darius Philon. That's what started it all. Now that's 10 unanswered points here in the second half for Las Vegas. And the special teamers will hand it off to the defensive unit here to try and shut it down. Tyree Gillespie with the stop. Peterman going coast to coast tonight.
He does some nice things. You know, he's a guy that gets your attention. And John Gruden told us a couple of years ago, it's a young quarterback in training camp that has gotten my attention. And Matt mentioned it earlier, the Raiders are in a really good situation. You got a veteran in Carr, another veteran in Marcus Mariota, now a young quarterback that I think deserves the opportunity to make a football team. And the question is, do the Raiders keep 3 or
it's going to be on the left tackle?
Or does another team call the Raiders in the next week or two and inquire about a quarterback like Nathan Peterman? There's a number of teams out there that are unsettled at their quarterback position. And I just think that the Raiders have done a great job developing some young quarterbacks. And Nathan Peterman is one of them.
And you know what's going on. We went through this last night, you and I going through the league and looking at quarterback situations, and he's definitely better than some twos.
Totally. There's a lot of, look at this team right here, Matt. The Rams are very inexperienced behind Matthew Stafford. You roll the dice. It's, it's like an insurance policy. If you feel you have a playoff team, do you really want to roll the dice if something happens with Stafford for 2 or 3 games and you've got to play a quarterback that's never made a start in this league? And that's why the Raiders have a guy like Marcus Mariota.
Right.
He's been in this league. He's been a starter. He doesn't need a ton of reps. He can step in a moment's notice. You can never have enough quality, depth, and experience at that position.
Spoken like an old MVP quarterback. But true.
And the other thing is you think about this staff and Greg Olson and John Gruden. They do a really good job coaching up that position. These quarterbacks are thoroughly prepared to play each and every time out.
Perkins and the Rams trying to mount a comeback. They've got the first down. Gain of 12 there.
You got to finish on defense, right, Matt?
Absolutely.
Just got to score here by your offense. You go up 7. You're inside 6 minutes. Now it's time. You need a big stop. You need a tackle for a loss. You need a sack strip. You need a deflected ball pick. Way to finish it right here.
You never know when it's coming. That's why you're always going as hard as you can, 100 miles an hour.
One takeaway on the night, the interception for Nate Hobbs.
No relation to Roy.
The natural.
There's our boy again.
Hobbs with the hit on Hopkins. Bryson will move the chains, 14 more.
They have to find a way to get pressure on the quarterback. It's been there's a couple times they got when Vickers was in. He had some pressure, but haven't had much. This quarterback's had time to throw and find receivers all night long.
Boots broken up. Hobbs was able to jar it loose from Akers.
Mentioned those strong hands.
Yeah, he's tracking them.
And good closing speed. Watch him rip this thing out. See that?
Yeah, well
punches
done.
In there with that left arm.
That's Lovie Smith coaching from his college days. And of course the Raiders do the exact same thing. So Hobbs is playing himself a pretty good game here tonight.
Well, we heard from Ron Miles earlier in the game, one of the coaches that came over with Gus Bradley. With Richard Smith, the linebacker coach. Ooh, hard hit by Tanner Muse. J.J. Koski.
They hit Koski in the chest. He's okay. It looked worse than it was because he was already tackled from behind. Then he's just going to come hit him right in the chest. See that?
A little shoulder, a little pop.
A little popski. Popski to Hopski.
Popski to Koski.
You got it.
3rd and 3 here.
Here's your opportunity to get off the field.
3rd down defense, a problem a season ago. They're 30th in 3rd down defense.
Rams just 1 for 10 on the night, and they get one there. Koski.
Koski came across in motion. They tracked him. It looked like it was in man the whole time. Not getting any pressure. Decent coverage.
A perfect throw and a perfect catch gets it done there.
Continues to move, 3.5 to go. Rams have 1 timeout, Raiders a couple.
Got to get a rush here somehow. Get to the quarterback.
Comes the blitz.
Perkins steps up and wrapped up. Malcolm Kuntz got him.
With a flag down in the secondary and a ram down. And this looks like it's going to go against the Raiders. Kuntz didn't quit on the play.
Well, the quarterback was still in the pocket. Legal contact. Defense number 38.
That's the second whistle against Rasul Douglas tonight.
Yeah, that didn't. I was just watching a big screen. That didn't look like much of a. Of course, that's from my perspective. So you know how that goes.
Jaded.
It's never pass interference, is it, Matt?
I didn't. I never thought so.
All right, first down, Rams, as they continue to move it inside the 35. Good hit, knocked it out, and that was Douglas responding.
Yeah, the Raiders are content to just sit here in the zone. And they're giving up the underneath the whole time. When you're doing this, you're expecting that you're going to get pressure from your front. That's the whole key to it.
Everybody's tired. You got to find a way to dig down deep. Just need somebody to come scream off the edge. Somebody's got to win inside. Comes the blitz.
They throw it to the outside. Nice, broken up by Douglas.
Douglas was all over that. It was like he ran the route for him. It's 2 big plays in a row for Douglas. Watch him. He stays on top of it, and his break is before the receiver. I mean, that's a great job.
He just sits on it.
Yep, right there. Now go get it. Well done.
And that's big for Rasul. He needed some positives.
When I see that, Matt, the first thing I think of is a double move. Let's come back and see if we'll sit on another one.
Exactly. And it looks like they're going to tighten it up in man here.
You got him in press coverage up the top.
Yeah, and watch inside. Quarterback doesn't take off there. Middle's open.
On 3rd and 10, they pick up 9. Koski.
This short is going to be 4th and 1.
They're struggling covering Koski on that option route. They give him a break, either inside or outside. He's winning on that option route against man coverage.
That was on Nevin Lawson. So they're going to give him 8, 4th and 2. 2.5 to go.
We need 93 or 96 to get a great push right here. Vickers or Phylon.
Raider Nation making some noise in SoFi tonight in L.A.
Oh, it's a boot. It's a foot race. And he wins.
The Rams are going to win it.
Oh, you can't do that.
Perkins got it.
Safety was in position. Took a poor angle, man.
Bad angle. You got to run where he's going, not where he is. You got to get to the top side. Yeah, watch. He's going to have to run here. This is his angle. It had to have been up top earlier. From the start, he tried to catch him. You got to go where he's going.
Perkins runs for 8 on the boot. First down.
You got to make that play. You're in position to make it. Can't allow the quarterback to run around the corner.
11th play of the drive here. Perkins slings it underneath. Raiders say no catch. The officials are going to spot it at the 13. To Atwell. And we're going to reach the 2-minute warning. 17-10 Raiders, but Rams are on the move. Time for Through the Air, brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. It's Nate Hobbs with the pick.
And Nate Hobbs has been around the football all night long. We talked about him at the start of the game, talking about the kind of instincts he has always being around the ball, and he showed you how he's done that tonight.
You know, he always seems to have a smile on his face, man. This guy loves competing. He loves to be where the action is. And I like his size. 6'1", just shy of 200 pounds, and the guy can run.
12th play of the drive, just under 5 minutes. They've covered 63 yards. As we dive under the 2-minute warning here in the 4th. Throwing for the back of the end zone, incomplete. Broken up by Levitt, intended for Harris.
Levitt's fortunate there. He never got his head around and found the ball. And a lot of times, Matt, you see defenders, they panic in that situation.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to look when he looks. Good protection, balls up in the air. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. It looked like he had a little bit of panic because he knew it was going to be close. That should have been a caught ball. Hit the kid right in the chest.
3rd and 6. Perkins.
Oh, nice job.
From behind. Coots.
That's a coverage sack for Coots.
Yep. Kendall Vickers. And it's 4th down.
Yeah, so that time, because you're in a short field, angles are tight in there. You got to get open right away. Coverage was tight. That helped the pass rush that time. Instead, the pass rush helping the coverage.
Guys are tired, man. They've had practices Wednesday and Thursday against the Rams. They were physical. They were long practices. And now you've got some young players that are playing a lot here late in the game. Some of them are gassed.
Well, that's what this game's all about. You got to find that next piece. Where's it coming from? You can't give up.
You never want conditioning to be the issue. That's why you work so hard in the off season. You work so hard in training camp, but there's no reason to be tired. You just can't get tired. The best players I played with were the best conditioned athletes.
Always.
Here we go. 4th and 5.
Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, they never came out of the game.
JR was
in
ridiculous.
A critical situation.
Got to keep your eye on the quarterback's feet, too.
Perkins looking left, under duress. Eludes the rush. He'll run for it, and he lunges.
Oh, they gave it to him.
Down inside the 10-yard line. Vickers had a shot at him in the backfield, and it's 1st and goal, L.A.
Oh, what a great individual effort there by Bryce Perkins. I mean, this kid's sacked. This game should be over. He somehow slips out of the sack from Vickers. Vickers has him, man.
He had 2 arms on him.
A great effort.
Yep.
Under a minute to go. Timeout Rams.
I think it's one of the hardest things to do physically is to rush the passer late in the game, Matt. You got a 300-pound tackle blocking you, right?
Yep.
And you got to chase this quarterback around, and then you got to go back and do it again. I mean, it's hard. You know what I mean? It's one of the most difficult things to do physically, don't you think?
I agree. That's what I used to tell Harry Long, shut up and get the quarterback. Oh, boy.
Especially, and you hate this. You hate rushing against a mobile quarterback. I'd rather just you know exactly where the guy's going to be. But these guys that can run around now, they drive you crazy.
That's why I said you got to keep your eyes on the quarterback. At one, like down here, with this type of guy, you have to be able to.
Yeah, he can run for it.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to almost spy him.
All right, 1st and goal. Rams are out of timeouts. Raiders with 1. Perkins.
Oh, nice job.
Looking for a seam. Down to about the 3. Dickerson. Got an arm on him. Clock will move.
That's a really good job with a disciplined rush lane, Matt. You mentioned having the eyes on the quarterback. You just knew he was going to step up. They did a good job coming off the rush and peeling back.
Dickerson and Vickers.
2nd and goal. 16th play of this drive for L.A. To the end zone, touchdown, wide open Harris. With 15 seconds to go, you think the Rams will shoot for 2 here.
Yeah, they have to. Let's see, Robert. Oh, he got beat right off the line of scrimmage. Right there, Thursday. He just hit him to the inside, and Levitt lost leverage, and it was over.
And you got a guy, Harris, at 6'5". A little bit of a mismatch there.
76 yards, 16 plays in over 6 minutes, and the 2-yard touchdown to Harris, and they will go for 2 and the win.
And you still have to keep your eyes on the quarterback.
There it is again, 6'5".
Exactly.
Little jump ball right down here. Watch.
Perkins looks that way. Incomplete. Out of the reach of Harris. And the Raiders are up a point with 15 seconds to go.
Well, I need a better throw there by the quarterback. That was what they wanted. They wanted the matchup on
Levitt,
the smaller safety against the 6'5" Harris. He's just going to run a little fade route.
Levitt did a good job off the line of scrimmage. He got up in him, got his hands on him, and he got turned on it.
Quarterback's got to make a better throw and at least give the receiver a chance to make a play. This ball lands out of bounds.
Good job by Levitt getting his hands on the receiver off the line of scrimmage.
They went right back to him, though. They got him for the touchdown. They were looking to go back to him for the 2-point conversion. That was a matchup they liked. The tight end on Levitt.
(17-16) Las Vegas, 15 seconds to go. As Matt Gay try an onside kick right here.
Looks like it.
Certainly is setting up for such.
It's a good thing to get on film, an opportunity to rep it.
On its way, and the Raiders will snag it at midfield. Dylan Stoner. And that should do it. One snap here for Las Vegas.
Well, John Gruden's got to be pleased that it was a good week of work here in Los Angeles. Went up against the Rams on Wednesday and Thursday. They got a lot of good things on film, and man, a lot of young players got another opportunity tonight to get some valuable reps and experience.
And they also saw a couple of areas that they need to work on. And they saw that the guys got a little bit tired. The end of the week stuff like you were talking about. But also they need to generate a pass rush better than what they did this game.
We got a nice play on special teams. The block for Phylon, and Peterman directing that fourth quarter touchdown drive that ends up being the game winner. Raiders by a point over the Rams. 17-16, the final in Los Angeles. Here's a look at your final stats. Most significant, 17-16, Raiders over Rams.
Yeah, third down, not very good on offense. I just thought the line play bothered me a little bit tonight, guys. I just thought offensively, not as clean a performance. And Matt, you talked about it a lot during the game, a little bit of an inconsistent pass rush.
Yeah, I think you saw that. However, having said that, I think Peterman played well again, and I think Nate Hobbs had himself a good game. I think there's some individual efforts up and down the lines. I thought Vickers had himself a pretty good game. Phylon had himself a pretty good game. So there's enough to work there and be happy about. And they also had good work in the middle of the week. So a lot of good things to take home from Los Angeles.
One more preseason game to go a week from tomorrow at the 49ers, and we could get our first look of the preseason at some guys that have been nicked up a little bit. Maybe good to go. Raiders come back to Los Angeles, and they will head back to Vegas with a victory. Thanks for watching our coverage of Raiders preseason football on your Las Vegas Raiders television network.